I just want to go through a few things with Camtasia. So this is one I've put together for ACR. As you can see, it's got lots of little pieces in it. The reason is for this is a pretty long one. This is probably as long as a Camtasia should probably be in regards to explaining assessments, or else it'll just lose its purpose. But I might have filmed myself talking for, say, 15 minutes, and what I've then done is just cut out all the bits in between that I don't like. So if anyone doesn't remember how to do that, what you basically do, just say I play it in the observation checklist, because this is what I don't like, that section there. I go like this, and I find the section that I don't want where it started, so obviously I'm going to be a bit more careful than this. And now I've got a section that I don't want. So what I can then do is right mouse click. I can either go delete. See how that leaves a gap there. So if I want to refilm it, I can put it in there. So if I was to refilm just that little section, I could drag it down from up there. So if I was to refilm 10 seconds, I'd upload it, it'd appear here, then I could drag it into that 10 seconds. Now, if the gap you've got isn't big enough, you can just right mouse click and then just drag them along to make it bigger or smaller. Remembering, if you ever do anything wrong, you've got just the back arrow there like normal. Okay, so that's if I want to leave a gap, but just say I want it just to disappear altogether. So this is a bit I didn't want. I could just go ripple delete, which removes it altogether, and it just moves along. So it doesn't leave the gap, it just gets rid of it, and the next section moves along. So that's if you're filming. Now an idea can be if I'm talking like this and I make a mistake, so I say a mistake, 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 then I can stop and pause and then clap. It will normally give you a big spike in the recording, so it shows you around that point. You'll see these lines go up and down. It'll give you an idea of what section you need to address in your timeline. So some other things I'm noticing just with the videos is sometimes when you're producing them, they're just too quiet. So if that's the case, just click on the volume and drag it up. But if you have a look at this here, this section here compared to this section here, see how it's a lot more up and down? What you can do is go to audio effects. Sometimes I go volume leveling and just throw it down there and see how now it's become even. And again, if you're still too quiet, then you still drag it up. So make sure you check that, because I'm seeing some of them come through that are just a bit quiet. And again, you've got annotations. If you want to add text to say something you just want to explain a bit more, rather than refilming it, you just go like that. Just say you want to say you can find this on 223 from your book. I'll make that black. Click on it. And then that will then appear if I play it. Trainer and assessor. So if I play it from before it. This template, we're looking at probably 20 to 30 to be both delivering, but you're also going to be a participant. Trainer and assessor is going to be assessing you against when they observe you delivering. So as you can see, now if you want it to be longer, obviously you just drag it along like that and it will be on there for longer. Now another thing I'm noticing just with the Camtasias is at stages there's big segments of them where it's not saying a huge amount other than just reading out what's on the screen there, which probably doesn't serve a huge amount of purpose. We're more going to be looking at, okay, where can you go to find the information, what you're looking for. So say here where I've got an activity with some dot points, rather than just reading all this, then reading all this, I'm more going to be saying, okay, here's the assignment. It's explained up here that this is what you need to do, so you explain it quickly. You need to make sure when you cover it, you're covering off on all these dot points here. because if you miss one of those, your teacher will be sending the information back to you, for example. So you don't have to just, it just seems like at times there's a 2-minute video and 1 minute 40 of it is just reading what's on the screen there. So we're talking about things like where you can find information, key things that are being looked for, how you upload it, if there's a template, how you fill in the template, that sort of information. Again, some people have been often forgetting how to then produce the videos. So you just go to share and then you go to a local file. If it's going to be too big, you could probably reduce that down, but otherwise just custom settings can stay in there. Next. And then just call it the name you want it to be called. And then finish. And then that will be saved through to your Camtasia folder. So if I call this when it's produced, so I'm going to cancel it because I don't want it to be. When it's produced, I would then be able to go to my folders. There'll be a folder that comes out called Camtasia Studio just under your. So if you go to the folders on your computer here under Documents, if you go to Camtasia, you'll then find a folder. So that one I was producing would appear here somewhere. If I click on it, this is always the one, this big one here, this MP4 file, that's the one you want to copy and save across. So then we can put it into YouTube. Some other issues, I'm just not sure whether people are saving it properly. So you really need to save the project. So now you've saved that MP4 file, but if you want to save this project here, so that you can later bring it up again and work on it in Camtasia, you got to go Save As and save that project. So then later on, I can go Open Project and you can bring it up and then change it. But if you have lost it, it's not the end of the world, because I think Louise and I had this issue a few months ago. What you can then do is if you're ever stuck, you could actually go Import Media and bring up the video. So if I go to find the MP4, which is that one. You can always drag it in there and work on it again.
Hi Jackie, just put this video together to explain how the assessments work. So this video relates to cluster 1.
And then again, if you want to change it or work on the volume, so audio effects can be dragged in. You can still cut and paste bits. And so on. So that would be an option you can always go to, so we can explain that to you a bit more. But the idea is you want to always save the project here. So this is if you want to go back and work on it.